Alright, welcome to the first part of What If Luffy was Sinbad's reincarnation. So, I did post this on my old channel, but I decided to make a whole new channel because my email, it's my personal one. I just wanted to split everything up, you know? So, this is the first part, remade, put on my new channel. Anyways, so the way the world works is basically for the devil fruit powers, we will use the idea of Magoi. All right, so the Magoi is what gives power to devil fruits, which is fair enough. I think it makes quite a bit of sense. And the pirate era is about 2 years after Sinbad's era. So I'm hoping that is good enough for you people. All right, so this is just a cut to part. Sorry about that. But I realized I said 2 years. I meant 2,000 years after Sinbad's time. Anyways, so yes, Devil Fruit's power is given by Magoi. Magoi is the essence of it. And Sinbad will have the ability to negate others' abilities for a short period of time. Because in his powers, he can control black and white Rue. So he has the ability to control them both and stop certain abilities from working for a certain amount of time. Anyways, in the last 2,000 years, the only person to be able to wield an ancient artifact was Gold D. Roger. So no one other than like Roger's crew and like a select few high up in the world government know of their existence. Anyways, we will begin the story now. So we're gonna pick up at where Luffy is just walking around the village, about to enter the bar. So one day Luffy is walking around the village. He walks into the bar, and he meets Shanks. He starts discussing with Shanks how he wants to take to the seas, explore the world, have fun, But Shanks just makes fun of him, and Luffy had some pride about him, which I personally didn't understand in the anime, but whatever. I wanted that scar to be there. But Luffy had that pride in him. So he proves that he is tough by cutting that scar into his face. Which honestly, he has some balls of steel to do. Alright, let's stay on. Anyways, so then the bandits enter the bar and start shitting on the pirates, and Luffy decides he wants to stand up to them. Because because he had already regained his memory. So back when he was alive as Sinbad, his father was abused mercilessly, and so was he. Tyrannical shit. He couldn't stand people who put down others for no reason. So he stood up to the bandits for Shanks' crew. Even though they didn't ask for it, he did it anyways. And they started threatening Luffy. And as soon as they tried to lay a hand on Luffy, the entirety of Shanks' crew is prepared to end them. So, anyways, Luffy ends up getting kidnapped by one of the bandits when Shanks' crew isn't around. And they drag him out to the middle of the water, and Shanks notices this. So Shanks goes out to save him because he notices there's a deep sea king coming after him. Shanks hops into the water and gets over to Luffy, loses his arm to the sea king, and sends it away. However, something that Shanks realized was Luffy was not remotely scared. Like, he was just like, it's whatever, which kind of gave him this weird feeling about him. So they get back to the land, and Shanks has a good feeling about Luffy. Shanks decides to give Luffy the Gum Gum fruit, which surprises his entire crew to a whole new level. They're like, what? You're giving him the Gum Gum fruit? Why would you do that? And Shanks said, I don't know. I sense something special in this boy. So Shanks ends up leaving, and he leaves the Straw Hat with Luffy. So after that, Garp comes, takes Luffy, drops him off with the mountain bandits. Luffy spots Ace, who's just giving him this death glare for some reason. And Luffy just continues to smile along, like, ain't nothing to have an issue with. He didn't care. He was just like, at least I have a home, you know? And that's good for him. Anyways, he asks, so where's the food? And they tell him that he has to go out and hunt for himself if he wants any food. Which is, so he's just like, okay. And they're slightly surprised. They're like, wait, really? You're okay with that? I mean, are you going to give me any other choice? No, but yeah, so why should I have an issue? So Luffy leaves and he goes out to start his hunt. So what he does is he breaks off a big branch off a tree. Make sure it's sharp enough to like enter the skin of any creature that he might want to kill. And he goes around exploring. He kills a couple boars. And he has immense strength, keep that in mind. So he kills those couple of boars. And he continues on. So he ends up coming back to the bandits' base when it's dark out. You know, they're out looking for him since it's dark out and everything. He arrives back. He's just like, yo, you guys yelling for me? They're like, yes, where were you? He was like, you said I had to hunt for my own food. I was gone to get it. And they notice that he's dragging two boars and he has a chicken's neck in his mouth. He's like, I had nowhere to hold the chicken. I'm sorry. Don't judge me. So he ends up going inside and the bandits are like, bro, that was kind of sus, not gonna lie. Like, what the fuck was that? So they cook the food and everything for Luffy, and Luffy eats. He goes to bed, you know? And after that, Luffy decides he's going to go out exploring again. And when he goes out exploring this time, he spots Ace with this blonde-haired boy with the top hat. And he walks up to Ace. He's like, yo, what's up? And the blonde-haired boy's on guard. He's like, who's this? Ace is like, oh, it's that one kid I told you that got dropped off. And Sabo's like, oh, really? Sick. So Luffy is just like, so where are you guys at? They're like, it's none of your business. So then those guys that Ace and Sabo stole from, they show up. And they're about to take away both of them. And Luffy is like, do you want me to beat them up for you? Because keep in mind, Luffy has his memories. So he is pretty efficient in hand-to-hand combat. So they're like, if you can stop them, sure, go for it. But I suggest you don't because you're gonna die. Anyways, so Luffy pulls up and he notices something particular about that sword he's holding. He notices there's a marking on it. And it looks very, very familiar to him, but it's rusted out, so he can't be 100% sure. So he goes and knocks out the bandits. Ace and Sabo are like, bro, what the fuck? Where'd you learn how to do that? And Luffy explained that he just knew. He doesn't know where he got it from, though he does know that he was reincarnated. Anyways, so Luffy decides he wants that sword, and they're like, okay, you want that rusty old thing? Have it. I don't care. And Luffy asks, hey, can I hang out with you guys from now on? They're like, sure, go ahead. Though you will be into trouble like that quite often. He's like, okay. Anyways, so Luffy takes that sword, and he like, he scrapes off some of the rust. He inspects it. He looks very closely at it. He's like, this is my sword. How has a sword survived 2,000 years? Unless he stabs the sword into the ground. He's like, Ball, I summon thee. And Ball comes out in like a lightning wolf form. It is like, who dares summon me? Kind of cringy, but like, who gives a fuck? And Luffy looks at him. He's like, so it is you who preserved my sword all this time. And Ball is like, what do you mean? And then Luffy's like, Ball, it's me, Sinbad. And Ball just can't believe it. He's like, what? How could this be? That doesn't make sense. You died 2,000 years ago. I didn't know you could resurrect. I knew you were loved by the Rue, but like, How's this possible? And Luffy's like, I don't know, but it's just how it is. So you want to give me a heads up on what's happened throughout the last 2,000 years? Because I saw the year, and it's a bit far, you know. And Ball's like, so after your death, the world plunged into chaos because your country fell. Sinbad's like, damn it, I knew I should have done more to protect it after my death. And Ball's like, there's nothing you could have done about it because without you, there's no defense against the other kingdoms. Because all the other kingdoms allied to take your land because they didn't like the fact that there was a land uncontrolled. And he was like, damn it, I knew it. I should have done something more about this. Holy, oh my god, what will I do? And he's like, well, you can't do anything now. It's 2,000 years later. Anyways, but as they were trying to take over your land, they all got in a dispute about who gets it, which caused them all to start fighting. And that war lasted over 200 years. It's in past like 200 years? How? What? I've never seen a war last that long. And Ball was like, it was over the most powerful piece of land that there was in the world. I mean, what would you expect? However, someone from the country of Sindria arose and defeated all three armies. And Luffy replies, who could have been so powerful to do such a thing? And Ball's like, your son. Sinbad's like, I never had a son. And Ball's like, well, you must have had one because that was definitely your son. And Luffy was like, huh. Maybe I didn't have a strong enough pullout game after all. I thought I did, but apparently I didn't know. Anyways, so Luffy was like, so what happened next? Ball's like, your son, who somehow survived over 180 years, I still don't understand. He might actually be still alive. I haven't heard anything about him or anything, but he might just be hidden. Because it doesn't make sense for a human to live a longer lifespan. You couldn't even pull that off. He must have learned something. And Luffy was like, interesting. I would like to find more out about Set's son. Do you know his name? Ball's like, I can't remember right now. You see, I'm doing that right now because I couldn't think of a name in time for this script. So, yeah, so next part we'll probably have the name of his son in it. Anyways. And Luffy's like, huh. Let me know if you do remember it. Anyways, we're gonna have to get stronger together again. We need to get back on track. If the world plunged into chaos so easily back then, who knows what will happen in the near future. And Ball's like, agreed. We got to be safe. It's currently the Great Pirate Era. So about 10 years ago, the Pirate King Gold D. Roger was executed by the Marines. However, before he was executed, he yelled three words: find my treasure. And that started the beginning of the Great Pirate Era. So pirates have come from all around the world trying to find this treasure that he left behind. Most believe it's at the end of the I can't remember what it's called. What is it called? At the end of the Grand Line. And Luffy's like, interesting. I guess I gotta set sail as soon as I can. But I don't think this body's strong enough to keep up quite yet with some of the powers that might be in this world. I'd rather be safe than sorry. You said there was no one who's wielded a genie since Gold D. Roger. But are you sure about that? Ball replies, I mean, I would be able to sense their power unless they've grown significantly weaker or they can hide their presence. And Luffy was like, interesting. So there's possibly an enemy too strong for me to defeat because they were hiding their presence. I think I need to get my treasures back. Because when I am old enough and big enough, we are setting sail. and taking back my treasure. We will create a peaceful world. We will remove this corrupt world government that I've heard about. We will replace it with a fair and just government. I won't put kings because I'll change the entire structure, but the government needs to be set still. And I'll sit above them, but we'll see. We'll see how the thing goes. And Ball's like, just so you know, there's some interesting people in this world from my knowledge that maybe you would like on your crew. And apparently one of them currently is known as a pirate hunter. And Luffy's like, interesting. Well, I don't need to know any of this until I'm leaving anyways. So we'll talk about this then. So Luffy is like, it's getting late. It's about time I head to bed. I got to get food. I have to clean up. I have to do things for the bandits. And then I have to spend time physically making my body stronger. I have to work out. I have to keep up. I must do this. So, anyways, after that, he opts the best option for him is to tell Ace and Sabo the truth. They don't believe him, but they're like, it's possible, because why else would he be so good at hand-to-hand combat even though he's never fought anybody in his life? It wouldn't make sense. I mean, he's physically weak, but he's talented. So they're thinking about it. They're not 100% sure. Anyways, the same thing as in Kanan happens. Sabo leaves. The world government attacks his boat. He like shipwrecks. The Revolutionary Army finds him. However, Luffy did not know that he survived that. So Luffy has a true hatred for the world government. Abusing their power in such a way is despicable. I don't know why I said despicable like that, but you'll deal with it. It's despicable. So Luffy made it his mission that he will reform this world into a world of fairness and freedom. Anyways, a few years later, Ace leaves. He ends up joining the Whitebeard Pirates. Ace is a cracked out motherfucker, not gonna lie. And then a couple of years later, Luffy is finally ready to set sail. Everyone in the town is like, good luck, have fun, come and visit every once in a while. Come on. I believe in you. You got this. Your dream will come true. So Luffy's like, thank you, everybody. I will visit soon. Goodbye. So now they're on their little boat. And Luffy takes out Ball. He's like, alright, so where are we headed first? You mentioned something a nice few years back about a pirate hunter. Is he still alive and kicking? And Ball's like, yes, he's still alive. However, from my knowledge, since for some reason Ball knows everything, I'll figure out a reason for that in a minute. Anyways, from my knowledge, he's trapped at a marine base. And Luffy's like, huh, interesting. Well, we'll go there first. You said it's not too far? Ball's like, yeah, it's not very far at all. And Luffy starts just sailing. Eventually, he falls into a whirlpool, and he hops ship and hops into a barrel when he's eventually picked up by the Alvida pirates, like in canon. Brought into a storage room, pops out. Also, I forgot to mention that Luffy has purple hair in this. It's going to be slightly longer, and it's going to be cool. It's sick. The thumbnail is a pretty good, accurate description of what Luffy will be looking like. This will probably be a 10-part series or something. This first part's probably going to be shorter than the rest because, yeah, I had a lot of stuff to do today, but I really wanted to get this done. And, yeah. So, anyways, he leaves the deck, and after hearing about Colby's struggle and the tyranny that goes on within a ship, Luffy is angry, but he knows how to control himself. He's a rational angry. So what he does is he goes up to the top of the ship and he beats the shit out of everyone. Absolutely everyone, all right? He destroys them all. Um and so sorry, give me a second. And so Luffy, after beating them all up, takes out the little boat, and Alvida randomly shows up. He's like, "Where the fuck did you come from?" Alvida's like, "I see you took pretty good care of my crew, hey." And Luffy's like, "So what if I did? What are you gonna do about it?" Alvida's like, "How dare you?" And she slams her giant hammer, and Luffy just like blocks it with his blade. He's like, not the blade in itself, hits it away, and just kicks Alvida in the face onto the little boat. It's just like, good luck. That's your boat now. And he begins to sail away with Colby. Colby is like, wow, you're so strong, Luffy. Luffy's like, I know, because he's got that confidence. He got that swagger, my dude. Anyways, so they continue when they finally arrive at that island. What is it called? Shelltown. He arrives at Shelltown, and he discovers where Zoro is being held, and he sees a little girl trying to feed him. And when the Marines see this, they threaten the little girl again, and decide to make Zoro's execution as soon as possible. And that's where I'll leave off this part. I want to continue it, but I can't. I don't have the time right now. I have a lot to do. I also have other content I'm making for the channel. Though hopefully tomorrow I'll have time to record probably about a 40-50 minute video on this. Anyways, I hope you guys liked the first part. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.